is we're going to revisit one that I've already made a game. It's quite simple, it's just some basic platforming. Um, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add the ability to play with the gamepad, as you can see. You've got key right, key left, key jump. So that's all you need for these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in what's it gamepad button check. I think it's 0 and GP GP. That's it. Yep. Right. So what this will do is, if it detects the gamepad, it will use the pad right, which is the directional controls. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat that. So it'll be pad L, and space will be a little different. It'll be a face button, and off the top of my head, I believe it's face 1. So face 1 will be X. Oops, nearly forgot that. So by putting these two lines in, what these make it are an OR statement, and the double ampersand is an AND statement. So it'd be this value and this. As you can see, if you've seen my other stuff, I might have some other bits in here. Like I've got a boost timer, because I've got a few extra bits in this. So we'll go ahead and save that, and we'll play that. So making a game isn't too difficult, really, when you think about it. So what I've done is it's very simple. So you get these dots. So jump. I've got another button somewhere which I've forgotten about. So what we'll do is we'll come out of this. We'll just go into settings anyway. Because what we'll do is we'll set it to let's have a look. Allow full screen switching. So we'll apply that. We'll get rid of cursor. I think it's allow window resize. So I'll resize it after, just to make it a little easier and less distracting with all this trim. So down here I have a level controller and a main controller. It'll be in one of these two. It's been a while since I've looked at this, so let's have a look. There we go. So in here, what we'll do is we'll do the. Is it still? Yep. All right. So we'll go face 1. But what we'll also do is we'll bracket there, and we'll bracket around this thing. That's it. Yeah. So that's the one. So what we're doing is we're re-encasing this, because where it ended before was here, adding this, but we're also including this in one thing. So if either of these values is true and it's that, it'll go to next. So we'll copy that and we'll paste over this. It's a little clumsily done. Now what this will do is allow us proceed. Now, I wonder, yeah, let's put it here. It is absolutely not the best way to is have the button statements everywhere. But again, this game was built a while ago, so uh, what's it called? Gamepad. Sorry about this. It's been a long day at work, so bunch of press. That's the one. So we'll go with gamepad underscore. It's device first, isn't it? So we'll go 0 gamepad underscore. So so sorry, it's quite late here, so and I've been up since 5:30. It's nearly 10 o'clock, but we'll get through this. So please bear with me and my rambling. Again, need to move that. That red line should go right. Brilliant. So what we'll do is we'll play it and I'll explain the game as we go along. So just waiting for it to build. It should be resizable, but it's not. So okay, we'll play it like this. So we've got let's jump. That's what I've called the game. So and we'll go. I'll put a gamepad on to play with a gamepad. So that's simple. Got this blue fella. Got these orange dots. So level complete. Press next. So what I'm doing is making it a little. Oop. That's interesting. The controller seems a little unresponsive. I don't know if it's because it's a Bluetooth one or a cheap one of these off Amazon jobs. So as you can see, the levels are getting slightly harder. What you do have is the ability to fall off, and it takes you back to the beginning of the level. So what we need to do is time that, get that, nice. So if you see the message at the top, I'll give you a bit of a clue. So you've got these white dots here. What these do is they generate additional blocks. So it's not the prettiest. So if we're going on record here, which I'll have to look at some point, it's giving you a boost when you hit the corner, which it absolutely shouldn't be. Right, so you say double jump, I say green. So let's guess what those greens do. So nice and easy. Oop, a little clumsy. Some reason it's not as responsive. It's not as responsive as it was. Uh, that's odd. I've played this game 30, 40 times. It might be the gamepad. I might just need to do a bit of work on that side of things. So there we go. What I've got on the double jumps is I've got an individual value that can be set different to the default that you'll be able to use to get onto the levels in the editor. Ooh. So what we'll do is I don't know. I don't know if it's the controller to be honest. That's not good. So I might need to get my hands on a better game controller. So these blue ones, I'll push forward like a boost, making it easy to get across the long jumps. Nice one's a bit of a leap of faith. Oh, that wouldn't trigger for some reason. Oh, It's odd. This is very odd. I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm a bit thrown with why this is happening. Oh, so it's become a. Oh dear. Don't know. I don't know if there's been some change in the engine that's affected the responsiveness. I'm not sure. So what I'm doing now is you've got your boost and you've got your jump there. So what you try and do is get them together, time them, come back, almost do like a wall jump, and get to the end of the level. So again, more of the same, a little bit differently laid out. It's quite unforgiving. So idea is you're supposed to go through the levels quite quickly, a bit of trial and error. So there's no room for errors. Nearly did there. And there we go. So start to work on the levels, get the levels a bit higher. So we're moving to, again, a double screen. And because I've messed up there, for levels like this, I probably introduce a checkpointing system. If you got to a certain point, then you don't have to go all the way back. Unless I find people, that's annoying, can't quite jump on that. So, and back to it. So, oh, a little clumsy. Jump, double jump. I know I should probably edit these videos to make them all clean, but I prefer not to because it gives you a realistic expectation of when you're play testing your own game. So, there you go, nice jump, nice jump. There we go, we've got an error. I've changed something, have I? Go to the next. Right, okay. So, that was just a short demonstration of the game. What I'll need to do is take a bit of look into this and see where it's unresponsive. In fact, what I'll do is I will try again, but I'll try with the keyboard. It might be because I'm doing it as an or statement. So let's have a look. It's definitely more responsive. It might be the controller. I'll take a new controller and try that one out. I have built a game like this before, many moons ago. Yeah, I did it on one of those old Windows tablets. Took it to work, showed it around. Everyone had a good bit of fun. As you can see, it's got no sound effects or anything, which, in my opinion, is one of the most important parts of the games. But I always find, unless your game is built around music, uh, adding soundtracks and that, albeit towards the end of the game development, sound effects are absolutely crucial because it gives you a way to communicate without having to write, do this. Graphics, obviously, if this looks a bit prettier, it'd be a bit more appealing. It just looks a bit like a poor man's Thomas Was Alone. And it's just developer graphics that it doesn't have the, obviously it doesn't have the narration. Again, when we're going to sound, that game is absolutely brilliant. There we go. That's a lot easier. So I'll need to investigate the gamepad. I have used gamepads before. I don't know if it's because I think if it's a wired one, I think it might be a bit different. I think there might be some lag. I don't know if it's because it's a cheap like PlayStation 4, I guess. I don't know. I don't have one. Not quite getting this one. I did have a bit of trouble on this normally anyway. There we go. Oh, you've just got to, you've got to kind of move on to the blue bit at your apex of the jump. There we go. That's a smooth. Ooh. So yeah, when I'm designing things, it's like I know they're not the best games in the world, but as long as you've got something playable, you've got something to show to your friends. Then if you decide to go with it, you've got something to show with other people. And when you're doing a game jam, you're probably not going to go much further than that. So I'm pretty sure it skipped through that last time. I don't know if the button's like double tapping on the. No, now that I'm thinking about it, and that's why it was when it was jumping up onto the ledges, it was automatically jumping again. That's supposed to take you to an end page, and it did before, but I don't know why. Well, hopefully my ramblings have been useful to someone. So if you've enjoyed that, please give me a like, share it. If you really want, I can probably send you a version of this game to play, or you can check out my itch.io channel, which is off the top of my head. Uh, um, just dance. So Josh Tonks Games. So ignore that one. I never finished that one. But I did make a mobile game. You can play it on Windows with different computers at different times. Uh, so this was a game jam game. Very simple. Again, Windows. I've only just moved back to a Mac. Uh, Goblin Dungeon Cleaner built it on a Mac. Originally, the Mac died with less than a day to go, and I had to build it off again, borrowing my brother's Windows computer. Space station storage sorter. Again, it uses a similar thing to um, the Goblin Dungeon Cleaner uh, with a grid movement. But what it is you're a little rectangle and you will move around. You'll pick them up from the top here, the colours. There's corresponding drop points, and it's done on a time. Uh, as the time comes down, like random events like these will appear, which will stop you from accessing these. Because the other part of it is when it's processing it, you'll see the little coloured dots. There's a little timer there. When they're empty, they go in here to be recycled. And you pick them up, you put them in there, and you get additional points for those. If that fills up, then the timer will stop processing, so you won't get points for dropping the corresponding colours on there. So the one that you can't see there is the green one. That's the blue one. You see the different patterns around the edge. That's where your selector is. You've got the purple, the red, and the yellow. Of make all the graphics apart from the jelly Splatum game, which I bought a pack off here for someone. I can link it to who I bought it from because it's like a beautiful Zelda-esque that Super Nintendo era game. So again, thanks for that, and remember to subscribe and give us a like or give us a share. Or just tell people about it. I want people to see it, so hopefully it'll help someone.